Nice to be safe.
Yep, I was well. Obviously, when we set out at the start of the season, I didn't envisage us being in this position or us having this conversation now. But yeah, of course, the pressure does start to mount when you're down there. Obviously, looking after other results as well. But it was about us doing our job today. Look, and do you know what? I'm perversely a little bit happy with it. We weren't good today. We weren't good. I thought Basford were way the better team. They look way more dangerous. We shouldn't win today. And I've not said that very often this year. I thought they missed chances. They could have been 3 up first half. And then we find ourselves 3-0 up with 3 great goals. And definitely a little bit fortunate to be 3-0 up. Obviously, I took the risk playing Kieran and Hamo. Kieran felt his groin, so I obviously had to take him off. And 3-0 up, I thought Hamo take him off with Tuesday in mind. And then it turned a little bit edgy in the end, didn't it, mate? Yeah, it wasn't a great performance, but it was all about getting the victory today and getting over the line and staying in this division, which we've done now, albeit Kings Langley end up losing anyway. But yeah, it's nice to not have to look over our shoulders now. We've obviously got semi-finals to look forward to on Tuesday, and then obviously 2 league games Thursday and Saturday. Where again, I don't really want standards to drop. I want us to finish the season as strongly as we can.
Yeah, one thing that we often find ourselves saying about is we're not clinical enough. Were we today?
I think you'd have to say yeah, because we didn't create loads and loads, and we're 3-0 up at half time. I don't remember the last time that happened. And 3 really good goals as well, I've got to say. Inger's 2 finishes were sublime, and the move for Page's goal was excellent, and obviously for a wide player to score a header, which was a good header as well, was really pleasing. I would have liked the second half to be a little bit more relaxing, and but it wasn't. It became a bit edgy. Obviously, they got an early goal, and then obviously the second one was a little bit of a farce. And then all of a sudden we get a little bit edgy. We've got Knox. I've asked Taylor to play at left back, but we've got over the line. We've got over the line finally, and not enjoy the moment, but we can be relieved that the pressure's off now, and we can now look forward to the games we've got left.
You often say in these interviews that you want the lads to be a bit more, get a bit more stuck in and just do the basics right and be hard to play against. Did you say do that today?
In spells, I think we did. I think we had a wobble. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, them scoring and it is pressure situations make people do weird things at times. You see it across the board, even at the top of the table today. Colville losing to Stratford. That's not them turning into a bad team. That's pressure. That's pressure knowing that Tamworth or Leiston were potentially going to get a result. So pressure does weird things, and we were under pressure today because with the games Kings Langley had left, we knew there was a possibility they could have won all 3. I know they haven't now, but it's easy with hindsight. They could have. So that made it the pressure build on us to get a result. And sometimes it does make you do weird things. We were resolute at times, but then we looked really open at times, and I think we got to thank our lucky stars that they've not scored more today.
Despite that, it's nice to finish our home season with a win.
Yeah, it's always nice to win, no matter how it comes, whether you blitz teams and play attractive football and free scoring, or you don't deserve to win like we didn't today. And winning's a nice feeling. It's what players want, it's what managers want, it's what the staff want, it's what supporters crave. So to finish on a win's nice. So hopefully that sets us up, and we finish the season as well as we can, and we look forward to regrouping, adding a few faces in the summer, and coming back a lot stronger and a lot more consistent than we were this year, because we want to be right up there.
Talking about the end of this season though, with 3 games in 1 week, will you possibly look to introduce some of the youngsters that are 23s lads? Yeah,
the ones that are signed on, obviously, they're not all signed on, but first name that springs to mind is Ollie Fraser. He's a young lad that's had a little sniff in and around the first team. He's done really well in the 23s. Obviously playing for England schools is one that springs to mind that I will probably try and include and give minutes to. And it's just important to use the games, not without throwing the games away as such, but to use them being clever and using them to give minutes to lads to see what they can do at that level. And I'm not sure, mate. And see what they can do at that level, let them dip their toe in the water as such, because a number of them train with us anyway. So we'll see what we got fit anyway. Obviously we've still got a monstrous injury list. We'll see where we are after Tuesday, and then pick a squad for obviously the Thursday trip up to Huddersfield.
Speaking of injuries, any closer to more players coming back?
No, sadly I think Ross Crane's done for the season, Jamie McGrath done for the season, obviously Pax is obviously done for the season. Kieran's felt his groin, he couldn't feel it before the game but could feel it, which is why I took him off, so he will figure hopefully on Tuesday, we'll see, but for how long I don't know. And Hamo was okay, so Hamo's back playing. Frimmy obviously was on the bench today, still not 100%, but could be involved as well.
Moving on to Tuesday, as we talked about, massive game. How do you see that?
Exactly that, it's a massive one. Obviously they've done unbelievably well, still got a chance of winning the division, so fair play to them. They're a threat, they score goals. We'll have to be a lot better than we were when we played them here on Monday. We'll have to be a lot better than we were today. But if we are, as we've shown in the past, we're capable of beating not only Leiston but anyone in the division. So I know they'll be confident, they will be favourites. Nobody will give us a chance. That's a dangerous old game when people do that, because within the four walls of the dressing room, the players, the staff, we all believe we've got a chance, and hopefully we can go out there and prove that.
I know we've got another at least a week of the season left, but are you already started planning for next year? Yeah,
the planning started months ago, if I'm totally honest, in terms of thinking of players that could add to us, that could make us better. It starts way before now, and I think that's important, because obviously a few months ago we knew it hadn't been the successful season that we was after. Yes, we had a really good FA Cup run, which is nice, obviously, but our bread and butter's the league, and we've been miles off it. Look at the league table, it doesn't lie. So we know that. We know there has to be a few changes, new faces to the group that add a different dynamic. But we started that process. Obviously, core of players have agreed new deals. So it's all happening at the moment. And hopefully, come start the season, when we start back, which obviously end of the season goes, and then before you know it, you're back training pre-season. Hopefully when we do that, we've got a real strong group, and we'll be fresh, looking forward to next season.
Does the FA Cup run, the injuries potentially have had an impact on the league, would you say? Yeah,
possibly. Obviously we had that really good month, it seems so long ago now, was it September, October, where we won 6 on the bounce, and obviously expectations and all that went through the roof. And rightly so, it does with winning games, but then we obviously went through that patch where we had the good FA Cup run, which was great for the lads, great for the young lads to be part of, but that's all it was. It maybe took our focus off the league a little bit, had a knock-on effect of injuries throughout the season, which has been tough, but we got a squad of players that I thought could deal with step 3, and we haven't been consistent enough. We haven't scored nowhere near enough goals. You've only got to look at the goals for. We've been fairly good defensively, quite solid, and losing by the odd goal, but it could have been way different if you score more goals. Obviously it gives you a way better chance of winning games, and all the teams up the top there that are fighting for the title have got that.
In terms of, from your perspective, is it obviously having it 2 games between them is a pain in the butt, but is it a good headache to have?
What, say that again, sorry?
Having 3 games in like 2 days apart.
Yeah, it can be a headache, obviously. The fact that we're now safe makes it less of a headache, if I'm honest, because it would have been tough if we don't get a result today. Kings Langley win, we're still looking over our shoulder. We've still got the same amount of injuries that we got, so it would have been tough. But now that's alleviated, obviously. So like you said earlier in the interview, I think it's an opportunity to maybe give others a little chance, maybe look at an Ollie Fraser and see what they got, because I think going forward, the younger players are the future of this football club. We've got an unbelievable academy. we're producing good young players, so it's a good opportunity for me to maybe give them minutes.
Will Wally be in contention for selection?
I would presume so. I've obviously not sat down and looked at injuries we got and whatnot. I've not sat down where I always sit down and chat with Tom and get thoughts of the staff. I think that's a really important thing as well. But there's a good chance, yeah.
Cheers, Kev.
Thanks, mate.